this is where I've always felt I've belonged, and now that I'm finally here, it feels like I'm home. Yeah. So just trying to get through, like we've taken all the risk, all the gambles, all these sacrifices to go over there, the first time. Just so now that we've gone over there again, that we've made these connections to be able to have the best training and the best opportunities. So, I hope the fans understand, how hard it's actually been. It's not a matter of just jumping on the plane and going over there. It's it's risk. There's a lot of risk involved, and that's what we're about.
I think the main thing that we're trying to push is that we're not just looking for easy fights. We're not just scraping the bottom of the barrel. We're looking to grow. We're looking to grow with each step. Because my last name has given me such a put me on such a pedestal. We can't really afford to have any fights that you're fighting kind of like journeymen. Usually a lot of the time in boxing, the first few fights, they're with people with a lot of losses and not much in their careers, more just for experience. But I wasn't actually gifted with that opportunity. I was just dumped straight into the deep end and put into the big cameras, the big lights, heavy lights. So just something that it's just the game plan of how we've had to kind of approach it all. Eventually, I'll be breaking out of my brother's name and I'll be breaking out of my father's name, and that's one of the most monumental things that could happen to me.
Benjamin, this has been a fight that you have been very keen for quite some time. You've been chasing Nikita Tszyu. Why is that?
Yeah, 100%. We've wanted this fight now for months. Even since his first fight, purely because they said there's no one out there that's pretty much good enough. No one else wants to fight him. He's this, he's that. So, we're definitely here. I look at his skills and I look at my skills, and I don't see nothing he does better than me. And I truly believe I'm the better fighter.
What have you made of the journey and the hype around Nikita so far? Because there's been plenty of it.
Yeah, of course. Like, he's got the name. Credit to him, man. He's done what he's had to do each time he's gone out there. You can't knock none of his performances. He's got the victory every single time. But this time, it's different. Yeah, you got a hungry kid. I've been putting in a lot of work. I've sacrificed a lot. Being overseas, I'm not just another opponent just coming in there to be happy to fight in a zoo.
Clearly, it's a fight you think you win. What is it about Nikita or about yourself that makes you so confident?
It's not about Nikita. It's not about what he does well, what he doesn't do, all that sort of things. Me and my team, we just believe in what I've been doing. The proof's in what I've been doing in the gym. They see how I spar and I know my skills, and that's why we're confident. It doesn't matter who the fight is or who the fighter is. We just believe we're better.
We've heard about you in the gyms of Victoria for a number of years now. We've seen you fight professional fights, but it seems you're adding strings to your bow in Las Vegas in some high-profile camps with some great sparring. How much do you think you've improved? And just tell us a little bit about what you've been doing over there.
Yeah, this is the second time I've been to Vegas now. It was awesome, man. It was really cool. The first time we went out there was more just about meeting people, getting those connections. So when we went back a few weeks ago, it was a lot. I wouldn't say easier, but we knew the right people this time. You know what I mean? We got some great sparring, some great work, met some awesome people. Got to watch Haney work with Haney's trainer Rodney. And it just helps that Haney's fighting the southpaw his next fight. So got to see a few little tricks and all that sort of things while I was up there. So it was awesome.
Obviously, you're excited to be a part of an event like this. If I could trouble you, Nikita is just sitting at the other end of the table. Do you have any words for him? I guess this is the first time you've been able to chat about this fight.
Yeah, look, man. We're confident. We've been asking Nikita and his team for 8 rounds. We want to fight 8 rounds. I think it's about time Nikita steps up. He's 25 years of age. They're putting him on major shows. He's the main event. He's this, he's that. So I think the fans want to see a longer fight. I just want to know if we can get the 8 rounds.
Look, you signed for 6 rounds. My team, we've got a special plan for me. We want my growth to be kind of gradual. We don't want to rush into things too quickly. And Yeah, we're not going to kind of fall into your demands because you feel that you want the 8 rounds. We've got a plan for ourselves, and we're not going to get bullied into.
Look, they said we've signed a contract for 6 rounds. It's not true. The contract I signed was for a different date anyway, and on the contract it said 8 or 6 rounds, depending whether Nikita got injured. And this thing about rushing him into it, he's 25 years of age. He's in his physical prime. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure you can do 8 rounds by now. I'm 21 years old, just turned 21 a month or so ago. Like, if he's a massive puncher, it should help him. He's got more time, in the ring. So it's not about bullying him into it. It's boxing. This is what it is. People, you got YouTubers that are fighting 8 rounds. I'm sure Nikita Tszyu can do 8 rounds.
His name has been around since my first fight. I remember hearing him calling me out. He was one of the first people to actually call me out after my pro debut. So his name's always been kind of lingering around in the background. And look, I'm very glad that he's been going to Vegas. I'm glad that he's been taking this very professionally. Like, he's really dedicated into this, and this is the kind of step up that I need. I need someone that has a bit of skill, that has a great set of fundamentals that I can actually compete with in a very technical way. So, like, please, like, I'm happy that you've done everything that you've had to do, and we're going to have a great fight.
You've only gone the distance once in your career so far. Ben's only gone the distance once so far in his career. So would you think the rounds perhaps don't matter in a fight like this?
Yeah, honestly, I was going to say, like 8 rounds, I don't think it's even going to go 6 rounds. If you're so confident, like, let's make it 2 rounds. Let's make it a 1 round fight where we just go in there and just belt each other for 3 minutes. Or doghouse rules where it's like there's only 1 round and
we
until
can
someone
do that
falls.
if you want. I did that overseas. So.
Mayweather style. You've been in Vegas this whole time. Let's do doghouse rules.
Ask the man to the left here. He's mentioning doghouse rules, but can't do 8 rounds. Like, it's clear he's never done the doghouse rules, because if you can't do 8 rounds, you ain't doing no doghouse rules. So I'll tell you that much. So yeah.
He's been kind of like a mosquito in my ear for the good part of a 1.5 years. So yeah, really glad we're getting this on. And look, I'm not too fazed by what he brings. I know it's going to be a difficult fight, but it's not. I don't think it's going to be the most difficult fights. Still think that Ben Horn put up one hell of a war, and it was extremely awkward fighter, and that was the kind of toughness that's hard to match. But he's still going to be tough, but in a more of a skillful way, not a physically determining way.
Once you beat a big name like that on a big stage in Melbourne, I'm sure that's where we're heading. They know what it's about. Tim went over there before his last fight to the US. He's going to go back over there before Charlo. So, it's not. It's a proven thing. Going over there, getting the best rounds, and it definitely helps.
I feel like he's trying to kind of, if he's pushing for 8 rounds, he's pushing to kind of spread the fight out a lot. It doesn't necessarily mean that he's in a better condition. It just means that he wants the fight to be at a slower pace. He's a 6-round fight. It's obviously going to be at a quicker pace than an 8-round fight. And I don't know. I don't want to think too much into it, but it was signed for 6 rounds, so there's not much of a debate on this. Every time I meet my opponent, I get a sense of confidence, because I don't know, just the look in their eyes, just seeing them. I don't know, it builds confidence. I was looking at him, I mentioned it to him as well. I saw his eyes just constantly twitching back and forth, looking from left pupil to right pupil for me. I don't take things too deep, think about things too deeply, but that could also be a sense of nervousness and a sense of fear. But I could also be wrong. It could just be him trying to look me in the eye, but not knowing which eye to look at, so it just keeps going back and forth. Who knows?
And if people do come along at Margaret Court Arena or watch on Main Event, what are they going to see, do you think, in this fight between yourself and Ben?
They're going to see something very interesting. They're going to see a great display of skill from both of us. They're going to see 2 young prospects who are risking their own for greatness and to step up that extra level in this game. And only the strong survive. That's the kind of sport that we're in, and I'm willing to risk it. He's willing to risk it. So it's the kind of beauty that we're having right now. So last weekend we saw Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia. These two fighters, they're putting their O's on the line. Of course, they're much higher level than us, but we're just in our early stages of our careers. So it's kind of same, but also not same. But yeah, so that's the kind of mentality that we've kind of got ahead of us, and this the kind of pressure that we're putting onto ourselves. So for the public to experience it, for the public to understand, this is huge for us. This is a moment that can make or break us, that could project our careers into a path A or path B.